Hey all. I wrote an article this week for Bella Online's RPG site about things that GMs sometimes prepare for games which too often go unappreciated. The purpose is for everyone to have fun, yes? But there's some things I'll bring up on video about prep wasting pitfalls. First, I'd like to admit that I've spent a lot of time making characters, guilds, organizations, and backstories that just never saw the light of day. So far, at least. Given the fact that we've all only got so much time to prepare for the next gaming session, I would call that wasteful. Even though it might come in handy some other day, I could have better prepared things pertinent to that game session. The lesson here is prioritize. Do you want to make cool characters / guilds right now, or something which will more likely have direct influence in your next session? Let the players keep their share of the spotlight. Second, I'd like to add a disclaimer to my written contention about not dwelling on the setting too much. If you're going to be recycling this setting, then go ahead and invest. Just remember there's a time to do that. Once you've got your next session well stocked, is a better time than working on fleshing out the campaign world as your prep. As cool as that descriptive encounter with Wild Buffalo was, it took up less than a minute of a few hour game session. The lesson here is focus. Keep the spotlight on the characters in action and not the backdrop. Scenery comes second to action. Probably the most important piece of prep I've embarrassingly missed is adventure. What players are doing or even what they have the option to do. Sure, I've had players whose characters didn't mind going and entering into arenas and whatever creepy caverns were around. The players shouldn't do that because they are bored with your lack of options. It should be because those are the choices that interest them the most. Eventually, your introductory encounter of killing muskrats will come to a close, and the party will look to you as if to say, "What now, O great creative one?" This lesson is best summarized as do your job. Supply the game with adventure options. My friends will probably either laugh or scowl when I say I've planned a few plots a bit too strictly. In response to this, I'll come clean and say I have overplanned a whole lot of plots, so that there was almost no room for player agency. It wasn't until a game went on long enough to where it frustrated me instead of only my players that I got the hint. I was trying to fit all these round pegs my players were throwing my way into the square holes I'd laid out before the game even started. Lose the squares. In fact, lose all the holes. Role-playing games are everyone's game. Since it's better to ditch most of such prep anyway, it naturally follows that it's better to just not do much of it. The last lesson for today is to not consciously plan out the story. Let it be, and you can fill in the blanks later. Just because you contribute to the story doesn't mean you have to force it along.